Hello everyone, and welcome to Philbert Flies. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This evening we are continuing with our series of American Eagle flights by flying this beautiful CRJ from Chicago O'Hare, where we landed yesterday evening, to Aspen in the Colorado Rockies. It's a spectacular approach. It's a tricky approach with a 6 point something degree glide slope. It could go either way, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm never super confident, but I've got it down in one piece before, so there's a good chance, I think. There's a good chance it'll be fine. Famous last words. Good evening to everyone who's here early. Hello Ian, hello Demetrius, hello Jason. It's been ages since you've been on a live stream, hasn't it? Simon, willkommen, guten Abend. CRJ seemed to capture the glide slope rather nicely. Good. Who else have I not said hello to? Tokyo Style, did I mention you? Nice to have you back. Caffel, of course, I didn't say hello to you. A very, very warm welcome to you. Extra warm because, you know, you're one of my favourites. And I love you all, I'm joking. And I think Kai is the only other one I've missed out, but if I have missed your name, then accept my apologies and I'll say hello to you later on if you remind me. Seems to be an airport to airport issue still. Ah, okay, so it's not totally fixed then. Tricky approach, not kind of Paro tricky, fortunately, but yeah, a little on the tricky side. Matt, welcome back. You have the utmost faith. Thank you. That's reassuring to hear. You've been struggling with the whole plane. You're hopeful the update was a good one. It still has issues. I won't lie to you. It still has issues. It's no CJ fault, and I'm not just saying that because Matt's here. It is still a little on the buggy side, but I do love it. It's a great plane to fly, and it's nice to have a few additional challenges beyond what flying a perfectly working CRJ would give you. Right, so we're here. We're in the cockpit. I'm going to start by setting up my fuel and payload, and then we'll get underway eventually. So we'll change to 0 fuel weight. I'll bring up my SimBrief flight plan, if I can find it amongst the myriad of ridiculous windows I have open. There it is. So we have today a 0 fuel weight of 27154 kilograms. Quite heavy, 27154. And we have quite a lot of fuel because it's quite a long flight. It's scheduled to be just over 3 hours, but in reality it seems to take nearer 2.5. Most of the time. Fuel, what was fuel? 5,871 kilograms. 5871. Enter. And we'll set the payload. And we'll press it again to make sure that this green thing is in the middle, which seems like a good thing. Frodestocker. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you found it useful. You have to record it. Yeah. Do I think that pilots will not be required due to the advance of technology? I think that's probably inevitable eventually, but I honestly don't believe it'll be in our lifetime, John. I think that people would be uncomfortable getting on a plane without a pilot on it, and I don't think that's likely to change anytime soon. The frog has joined you. Yeah, I've turned it on to silent now. Sorry for the lack of professionalism. First time watcher, Mark Burgess, welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you here. 4 more days until your favourite game releases its update. Which one's that? In terms of planes that fly reliably and do what they're supposed to do, Matt, the CJ4 is where it's at, in my opinion. Certainly of the jets. Let's hope that the approach will go terribly wrong. Oh, thank you, Demetrius. It's really nice for you to balance out Matt's vote of confidence with a comment like that. He bought Faro. Ah, nice. Used to potter around in FS 2012, but just in the little Cessna. Okay. Nice. Well, I hope to show you the best of what FS 2020 can do. And if I can't, I'll at least show you something. I'm going to set my takeoff speeds here now, because when's a realistic time to use this iPad to set everything, including your weight and balance? There isn't one, really. So may as well do it now before we forget.
Tower traffic air TS 152 short, final 28.
Okay. Let me flip through my notes. And we'll start getting set up, I think. So, let's get the APU started first of all. Power and fuel. Come down here and make sure that the APU in byte is shown briefly, and then APU SOV open. And then we can press the start-stop button. We've already got our nav and logo lights on because we are connected to ground power. Before start, oh no, we're not ready for that yet. Okay, let's go up to the overhead panel and we'll just work through it. So we're connected to AC power at the moment. The IDG1 and IDG2 switches are unlit and guarded. The generator switches are set to auto. We don't need to do our FireX monitor test because it's not the first flight of the day. The left and right hydraulic SOV switches are blank and guarded. Our fuel panel's looking good. Obviously our left and right fuel pumps are off at the moment, so they're showing in op. Bleed air set to normal as it should be. Bleed valves are set to auto as they should be. The isolation valve is closed. The bleed source is set to both engines, and our APU is coming online, and you can see, in fact, it is online. You can see that it's showing available. Engine switches are still showing blank, and we're going to turn on our hydraulic pumps to on and auto. Cabin pressurization panel's looking fine, as is the air conditioning panel. What we will do though while we're down here is turn on the recirculating fan. Don't need any anti-ice, but we can turn on the left and right windshield heat switches to low. We'll turn on our no smoke, wrong way, turn on our no smoking and seatbelt signs, arm the emergency exit lights, make sure the ELT is armed, and it is. And now I'll catch up with your chat a little bit more. Are there any good tutorials to learn to fly the big jets? Well, I've done one for this one, Mark. I did a little startup tutorial for the A320, but I never went further with it than that. So you can check my channel for that. A few other people do some good ones. What's his name? The guy who's a real pilot. Oh, that's so shameful. Is it A320 Sim Pilot? I think it's A320 Sim Pilot. Someone will correct me. He's done some good tutorials for the A320 if that's what you're after. And depending on what you mean by big jets, Matt and I did a live lesson in the CJ4, which is a fantastic plane. It's a small jet, but that's been well received. SCPR breach. The revamp has been... Ah, okay. I've never heard of it. I'll have to look that up afterwards. I hope that Astro Midas is okay as well. I haven't finished watching your video, Jason. I've got as far as sort of the end of the climb, but I will watch more of it. What's my opinion about the CRJ700 so far? I do like it. It's not perfect, but I love flying it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Ben, welcome. I thought you were away to your parents this weekend. Lovely to have you here. Probably lying drunk under his bed.
Here, traffic,
Ribbon, hello. Oh, you are at your family. Oh, good. Get them to subscribe, Ben. Get them to subscribe. 320 pilot, that's right. Captain Matty, shalom to you. You want a tutorial for pyro approach? Good luck finding someone to do that for you, Demetrius. It won't be me. No worries, Mark. Okie dokie. That's me caught up, I think. So let's go to our originating checklist and find all of the things that we have forgotten. Crew oxygen and masks checked, first flight of the day only. Don't need to worry about that. I have no shame, it's true, Steve, it's true. But they might, you know, they're missing something from their life. They must be if they haven't subscribed to my channel yet. So really, I'm doing everyone a favour while also being entirely shameless about it. Bleeder, yeah, check. APU's on, start panel's been checked, hydraulic is auto and on, ELT's been armed, cabin pressure's been checked. Yep. Nose wheel steering's off, yep. Clocks are set, instrument panel's checked, yeah. We'll engage the yaw damper and we'll set the trims. And while we're down here, we'll engage the stab trim and Mac trim switches. And the trim we need is 6.4, so let's set that now. 6.4. There we are. Done. You told your mum that you're occupied for the next couple of hours. Good. Well, tell her that I'm appreciative of her understanding. Right. Signed up for a bit of therapy. Honestly, Jason, from what I've heard so far, I think you did incredibly well. Incredibly well. I would not have known it was your very first VATSIM flight. You sounded pretty fluent to me. Just had homemade pizza. Nice. I got a cheeky takeaway this afternoon because I was home late. I went all the way to Richmond Park to meet a friend. It took me about 2 hours to get home. And I thought, no, I'm not cooking now and racing to be here. I need to provide you with a decent stream. And I can't do that if I'm hurrying to make a meal. It's nice though, anyway. What should we do now? Let's set up the CDU, I think. Hello, Aero737. Am I able to look at the airport using drone view from above? Yeah, go on then. You don't know if it has 27C? Do you mean 28C? Oh no, there is a 27C, yeah, I see what you mean. It's over there, other side of the terminal. If my sense of direction is correct, it appears that it has it as under construction. I think it's somewhere here, right? That's where 27C should be. So no, we've only got left and right as far as I can tell. Okay, pausing it. Next page, copy GNSS1. Previous page, plonk it in there, over to the flight plan. And I've planned the route on SimBrief, so we'll import it by typing KORD KASE. Route, plonk it in there. And SkyWest 3188 is indeed us, so that's good news. Interestingly, and I didn't know this till today, I don't think, Chicago O'Hare
traffic
doesn't have any SIDS.
Clear of 289. Okay.
So we don't want to take off from 22 right. We want to take off from 28 right. That's where I want to take off from. And I'll tell you for why. The real world flight departed about half an hour before I started the stream. And that's the runway they took off from. So we're actually using their actual route, which is being flown as we speak, which I find very exciting. And yeah, we'll be chasing them down all the way to Aspen. What else have I missed? No worries, Aero737. I don't know if it'll be added. I'm sure it will, although FSDreamTeam are not the fastest with their updates, it must be said. Mako, good evening to you. Good evening. That is the best part of going home to your parents, isn't it, Ben? Yeah, it's lovely. You can just regress, basically, to childhood. I'll have a laugh when you turn off 6 and get lost in the dark. Well, that's a default airport. That's not your fault. But I like the... Sorry, Max, Karen, sorry, Karen. Yeah, everyone gets lost at default airports. It's not your fault. Good evening, Mitch. You have been on production on the CRJ700. Have I got problems or information? And if so, please complete this survey. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let you share links, Mitch. But feel free to post it in my Discord server. There's a link in the video description. Pilot 2.0, hello, studying navigation and watching my stream. Excellent combination.
Traffic, United 721 is crossing 28 left. Sorry, 28 right at Papa 4.
Nice. Miss K salty, yeah. It was his own idea, Karen. It was his own idea. Hello, Sam. But I was delighted to have him on board. Yeah, don't let me stop you, Caffel. Don't let me stop you. Okay, what are we doing? Flight planning, that's what we're doing. So, no stars, no SIDS. No SIDS. We do have stars, no SIDS. That's what I was talking about. We won't bother setting up our arrival yet, but what we will do is check the initial bits of our flight plan to make sure there's no discontinuity. There is, but only before the arrival. We'll sort that out en route. It's a fairly long flight today. We have time. Werner and then Zakor. Yeah, so Zakor is our final en route fix, and then we'll be making some sort of approach, which is what all these waypoints are about. Out of interest, which arrival has it decided on for us? Localizer 15. Okay. I think we might do one of the RNAVs. I can't remember which one is not published, but whichever one isn't published but is in the FMS of this plane is brilliant. So that's the one I want to find. But as I say, we'll sort that out en route. Over to the performance page, and we'll go to Perfinit. And I thought I'd click copy Perfinit data to FMS, but maybe you have to do that later in the game. We're going to be cruising at flight level 380. Who's a noob? What have I done? Flying an actual route is very exciting indeed. Oh wow, that's very rewarding if you beat someone because they have to do a go around and you don't. 3 hour flight, that's the same flight time as you. Oh, awesome. It probably won't be 3 hours once we're in there. Happy Friday to you too, Kai. Good news, Sam, good news. I'm glad you're able to be with us for the whole thing. What? Why am I being called a noob? Have I ever been to the US? I have. Yes, I've been to New York. I've been to Chicago, from where I took a road trip, or train and road trip down all the way to New Orleans via Tennessee and Mississippi. And I've been to San Francisco. Hello, Jenny. Jenny, welcome. Ah, well, it's a long flight today, so hopefully you'll make it home and can join us again when you get back. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know why I'm being called a noob. Anyway, whatevs. Whatevs. Wavefire. Well, it's great to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, just stick it in my general chat channel if you join the Discord, Mitch. The paths thing I'm aware of. I think it's something to do with spaces in paths, isn't it? That's why the SimBrief import doesn't work. Right, let's execute. VNav climb. VNav descent, that's all looking good. Try not to bore you too much with all the minutiae of setting this thing up. What haven't we done? I mean, I'd like to bore you with the minutiae a little bit, because otherwise I forget things. That's right, we haven't put in our wind component yet. What is it today? -24. And execute that again. So we've got our V-speeds over here. I'm just going to check they haven't changed since I imported them. They might have done, of course. 137, 137, 145. Nope, that's still current. Good. Yeah, not too bad, thank you, Jenny. I went to the park. It was nice. How did I install it? I just ran the installer, Jordan J. I bought it. Well, I got it through Aerosoft, and I just ran the installer. Hello, Aviation 19K. Welcome. Yeah, sucks you're having to work over Easter. Because we don't have a SID and we don't have any ATC online, we can just set our cruising altitude straight off the bat. We're going all the way up to flight level 380 again. Get rid of these cautions. And I think we'll go forward to the before start checklist. I think we've done everything. Devices are on. I'm not turning my phone off for you lot. APU is on. Electrics have been checked. Takeoff data set. Doors. Well, we haven't closed the doors yet. We should close the doors, shouldn't we, realistically? Right, let's try and get rid of the jetway. I don't think it'll let me until I close the door, but never mind. We'll get rid of the wheel chocks as well. Try again to remove the jetway. No, it doesn't want to budge, does it? I've had this before at Chicago. I don't know what it's all about. Oh no, it is. There we are. Excellent. We'll stick the beacon on, and the fuel pumps on as well. Hydraulic pumps are set to auto and on. The parking brake is set. And I'm just going to have a quick squiz at Volanta to make sure there's... I heard a few aircraft inbound. Check they're not too nearby. No, we've got someone parked up there. Nah, we're fine. So this is going to be quite an interesting pushback because we're a little bit wedged into the corner. But because there's no one around, I think I'm going to make life easy and just push back straight-ish onto one of these stands. Only 2 dead. Oh, you can get through that, Jason. Mitch, no worries. Thank you for stopping by. It is a great plane in spite of its little problems. You really need to get as soon as you're allowed to fly to Lanzarote, Jason. You need to start this new life selling crap on the beach. I can't type in custom emojis in the chat either, Tokyo Style. I can't even see custom emojis in the chat, but I've got a feel for most of them, so I see the text and I sort of have some idea what is going on. Okie dokie. What were we doing? Getting pushed back, I think.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
I feel like I've forgotten something.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Did I turn the beacon light on? Yes, I did. Got the APU on, got the hydraulics on. I think the sort of the big ticket items are all done, I think. So to install the CRJ7, it should be pretty straightforward. You buy it through Aerosoft's website or through the marketplace. And once you've done that, if it's through the marketplace, it should just install by itself. If it doesn't, then
you are
that
clear
is a problem.
behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
And if you buy it through Aerosoft, it should be as simple as running the installer. I can't think why that would be going wrong. I've done the checklist, thank you, Steve. I still feel like I've missed something. I don't know why. I think it's just a lack of self-belief. Right, engine 2, firing up. Yeah, I know, Karen. Am I happy with the CRJ? Yes, I am. It's got a few bugs, but it's a lot of fun to fly. It's a lot more complex than the A320. So if you want a steep learning curve and sort of the reward that comes with that when things go right, it's brilliant. But it's really nothing at all like the A320. It couldn't be much more different. Let's see if this guy will tow me forward. Oh, he will. I can fly to the UK. Yeah, I've done quite a few flights in the UK, Spencer. My next one is likely to be on Sunday. I haven't totally firmed up my plans for Sunday, but I would like to squeeze in a flight back from KOS to Bristol, if I can. Probably in the afternoon. In fact, if I do, it'll definitely be in the afternoon. This guy doesn't know how to do a tight turn, does he? To do a 3-point turn to get it on the taxiway line. Ooh, slow down, sir. Slow down. Ugh. Bring on GSX. That'll do us. I thought the glide slope was fixed, Steve.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
I mean, to be honest, I've only followed one glide slope
the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear.
I got the update,
we will see you on the right-hand side with the pin.
I can't really
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
But I
Thanks.
thought that was
Have
the
a good
point,
flight. See
one
you
of the
later.
major things in the last update, no? Right, starting engine 1. Waiting for the N2 to hit 20%. Playing with a custom stir truck. Oh, nice, nice. Hector, I'm sorry, my Spanish is not very good. I don't know what that means. No, but it's true actually. I hadn't noticed that. But yeah, we don't have any pilots in the cockpit. Oh no, we do. We do. Look. Yeah, 2 of them. That's me. Can't wait for the long haul. No, me neither. It should be a lot of fun. Tyler Firepine, hello, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. Oh, right, okay, okay. Well, I'm even more inclined to follow an RNAV rather than the Loc approach then. I can't wait for the quality wings either. Should be brilliant. Right, so we have 2 good starts. Our generators are in auto. I'm going to go back up to the overhead panel, turn on the cross-flow auto override. Bleed valves are in auto. APU we can stop, so we'll push the start-stop button. And then by rights you should wait for it to totally spin down before you push the other button, and that's what we're going to do. But yesterday I forgot all about it. We're going to turn on the probe heat. We don't need any anti-ice today because there's no clouds, famous last words. But I think we don't need any anti-ice anyway. We're going to set our flaps to 8 for takeoff. We're going to check our trim, which still should be whatever I said earlier. Oh, it's changed. It now says it should be 6.4. Oh no, it hasn't changed. That's what it said before. The OCL controllers are nice, so nothing to worry about. Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I just need to do a little bit of learning. It's my power couple companion.
Chicago traffic.
Where are we right now? We're in Chicago O'Hare International. Face reveal. No, not till a million. Not till a million. The tinted glass made it hard to see.
Chicago traffic, Connie 831 crossing runway 27 center.
Robert, hello, hello in Chicago. Chicago, in Charlotte. Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you here. Oh, did you, Bradley? How did it go? And where were you off to? What am I doing? Setting my flaps. We're not going to bother with a flight control check because, you know, the flight controls are either going to work or they're not. We're going to turn on our nose wheel steering. And I think we're pretty much ready to get going, but let's do the checklist to make sure. After start checklist. Gens are auto, electrics are checked.
And again, Chicago traffic, Connie 831 crossing runway 27
on its way off. Nose wheel steering is armed. Is it shut down yet? Yes, the RPM's gone to 0, so we can actually properly turn it off now. And we're not going to worry about our reverse thrust until we get to the runway. Let's get going. O'Hare to Detroit, nice. Yes, I am on VATSIM, yeah. Alright, have a good dinner, Jason.
Chicago 6 traffic, Peninsula 3, my deck,
I'm 30 something, but my hair is already white. My hair isn't white. Is her hair white? Oh, she's got... Oh, she disappears when you go inside. She's just got a little bit of white in it. No, I don't fly in real life. I have done a little bit, but not much. John, no, I just have a Thrustmaster T16000M joystick. Talking of which, I will get my maps up. I've got some idea where I'm going, but... no, interesting. My iPad isn't working. I shall have to look on here. Yeah, so we're sort of going straight ahead onto November and then making a left. It's pretty straightforward. O'Hare traffic, SkyWest 3188, taxiing to holding point, runway 28 right via November. Filbert's fine, Demetrius, Filbert's fine. Yes, it is, Bradley. Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to, but it's it makes sense, doesn't it? And while we're taxiing, we'll have a look at the taxi checklist. Slats and flaps. Flaps 8 checked. Trims green and checked. Thrust reversers are not yet armed. We'll do that before we go. Flight instruments checked. Brake temperature checked. And once we get to the holding point, we'll do our before takeoff checklist. Ah, no worries, Karen. Thank you for popping in anyway, and enjoy your evening. I'm averagely old. I'm 37 as of last Monday. You're 11 and you love aviation. Awesome. Well, it's great that you're here, Bluebird. Are you simming as well? Do you have Microsoft Flight Simulator? I think you said you did a flight the other day, actually. So yes, you must. Remember toga button. I always remember the toga button, Kai, except for yesterday. I don't know. I have no idea why you picked Karen. You're allowed one name change, if you want. Ooh, we have traffic.
Chicago traffic, Connie 831 giving way to the CRJ on November.
Connie 3831, SkyWest 3188. Jolly decent of you, sir.
Safe flight.
Likewise. Very excited for PMDG as well, yes. So you'll notice I'm getting quite a few stutters, and that's same as yesterday. And I said after yesterday's flight I'm going to uninstall my Javiesky design landmarks because I think it's all a bit much for my system. And I totally forgot. So here we are, stuttering again. That's correct, Tokyo Style, yes. Would I recommend 16 gigabytes of RAM? I'd recommend 32, Mitch, to be honest. I've got 32. And it does make use of more than 16. PMDG's releasing their 737 NG3, is that what they're calling it? And we don't know exactly when, but we're hoping it's going to be sometime this year. Okay, I think we'll have a glance at the before takeoff checklist. Lights and strobes and thrust reversers, and that's all we need to do before we go. I feel this nice man in the 747 shouldn't be held up too much by me fannying around at the holding point. Let's turn on the thrust reversers now, so we don't forget. So the 747 is another pilot on VATSIM. It's not AI. I'm very excited for the fly-by-wire 380 as well. In Germany, Kevin is your Karen, is it? I never knew that. Okay, let's get some strobes on, landing lights on. Overhead traffic, SkyWest 3188. Line up and take off runway 28 right, departure to the west. VATSIM is an online ATC network. Hello, John. You haven't missed any of the fanning around. You've missed a tiny bit of fanning around, but nothing major. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly runway heading initially, and then we'll make a turn to the left to join our route. Okay, we'll just pause here momentarily while I press the toga button, thank you for the reminder, and sync the heading and hit the chrono. And away we go. Engine stable, up to toga. This is MSFS, as it says in the title.
And Connie 831 lining up to 8 right.
V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. It's 1,000 feet. So we'll engage heading mode and speed mode and turn the autopilot on. And as we pass 2,000, we'll bring the thrust levers down to climb. And we can increase our speed up to 250 knots now. And as you can see, the aircraft's lowering the nose to help us speed up. Flaps 1 as we pass 180. I wish there was a better way of twiddling these knobs. And flaps up as we pass 200-ish. And then once we get to 250 knots, the aircraft should start climbing. And we're nice and high now, so I think we'll switch our heading to an intercept course and engage nav mode. And when it feels like it, it will switch over, which it feels like now, so that's good. Slurp of my tea. And you can see the 747 just down there, lining up, probably be on the move very, very shortly. I'm curious about where he's going, actually. I'll have a look in a minute. Right, so now we're airborne, we can disarm the thrust reversers. We can turn the crossflow auto override off. And we can do our climb checklist. Check, 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 check. Nice. Right, I think I can catch up with the chat now. But while I do that, I'll get a little bit of wing view sorted. For CAFL, mostly, but also anyone else who likes them. Right. What have I missed? I'm old to you, Demetrius. Doesn't mean I'm old. Right, hang on. There's too much to catch up on. I'm going to pick a point and go on from there. You'll be right back. You're going to download something. Okie dokie. Bluebird, I'm curious about what you're going to download. Oh, VATSIM, right. Yeah, you have to take a little test. It's a bit of a process. It's worth listening in before you jump into flying on it, but it's great. I'm not sure, AP, about the if VATSIM released an update. I heard about it for better audio. That's true. Yes, it doesn't auto-rotate. You do actually have to pull back on the stick. It's true. Hello, Edge. Welcome. Oh, it's nice to have you here. Glad you could make it. No, Aspen's in Colorado, John. Have I ever had a stall on takeoff? No, I haven't. So the toga setting in the CRJ is not the same as the toga setting for the A320. It will use either full toga power or a flex temperature if you set a flex temperature. But unfortunately, there's no way of calculating a flex temp for this plane. So yeah, so in this plane it is always toga. How do you get the wing views? So I haven't changed the camera config file. These are default wing views, and they are under showcase, fixed camera, and they are external 9 and external 10. I think those are the only included ones. You go to Chicago O'Hare when you go on big flights to Poland. Ah, right, nice. Do you have family in Poland then, John? You can see your house. That's amazing, Aero 737. It's a great city, Chicago. I enjoyed it a lot. I only spent a week there, but from what I saw, I really liked it. Where is my CFDIU? I don't know what a CFDIU is, Tokyo Style, to be honest with you. Are we there? Very nearly. Very, very nearly. CFDIU. See, I could have Googled that in case I'm making a fool of myself, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know what it is. Centralized Fault Data Interface Unit? Is that what you... No, that can't be that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's an Airbus thing. So any faults, etc., come up on this MFD here. So you may have noticed before we're setting up, we had a lot of yellow and red flags. Belovich, how's the CRJ? I like it a lot. It was good. I do remember the Rio takeoff. Yeah. I mean, we just had too many fat passengers. That was the problem there. Do you have to download the CRJ separately from the installer? No, you just download the installer. Yes, and it's CAS in the CRJ as well. So yes, your they refer to the red and yellow messages here as CAS messages, Crew Alert System. Anyway, too distracted by the chat. We're well above 10,000 feet, so we can increase our speed to 290, which is our optimal climb speed. And we can do other things like turn off the landing lights and turn off the seatbelt sign, seeing as it's nice and smooth. I haven't actually had a TCAS alert, but I imagine if I did, it would display that. It was almost a Sully, yeah. I should have listened to Web Pro when it said we didn't have enough runway, but instead I listened to Flight Radar 24, which said A320neos take off from that runway all the time, and it's totally okay. So we're above the transition altitude now, so we'll set standard pressure. And that's really it. That's all we have to do, and it's pretty much a straight line from here to Aspen. You need to contact Aerosoft about that, Jordan J. All I had to do was run the installer and it was installed, so I don't know what's happened to you, but yeah, that's really irritating. Ooh, nice, Jason, yeah. I've got some frozen vegan chili, and I was, you know, I did like 4 portions. 3 of them I put with rice, 1 of them I put on its own. And you've tempted me to do it with a jacket potato now. I think I will. Who wants to have a look at our route? I think everyone does. So I'm not even going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to make an assumption and bring it up. If I can find the right thing to click. A terrain alert is a GPWS alert. It's a bit different to a traffic alert. I've had plenty of those. We may even have one today. Right, here we are. Let's get rid of some of these side bits. Here's Chicago. Here's Aspen. So I have selected an RNAV approach into Aspen, as you can see, the RNAV Zulu. But I think ideally we're going to try and do the other one. Obviously if we do the RNAV Zulu, we're going to go straight to this waypoint here. There isn't a chart for this approach though. In fact, that's a point. Maybe this is the approach I'm thinking of. But we'll go direct from here to here and then follow this profile down. And it's, as I said earlier, it's a very steep descent, about 6 point something degrees. And it'll be all visual down to the runway. So it should be quite thrilling. I'm not a vegan. I do like sheep, but I eat some vegan food sometimes. I won't lie to you, I put cheese on it. But I think of it as a vegan chili because it comes from a vegan recipe book. Only problem is that you don't really like the CRJ. I've never flown on one. I'm using Streamlabs OBS SoCal. No, AS Updater is an updater that gets installed once you have once you've already installed the aircraft. So that's how you get your updates. Welcome back, John. Ah, Matt, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I was speaking to the corporate pilot dad about this the other day, and he'd never come across it. But he said something similar, that it may be airline specific and it may require a particular training, which is exactly what you're saying. Well, I'm feeling competent to do it, so I'm going to do it. What are we talking about? My diet? It's not vegan. It's true. I'm not vegan because I eat camembert cheese. Oh dear. Paella is much tastier. Interesting. Yeah, I like a paella as well. On my map, Aspen is behind me. No, it's ahead of me. So we are here, and we're flying to here. Right, let me get rid of that because I totally forgot to get rid of that. Then you can enjoy the pretty views. The app, the overlay is the streaming overlay called Bene Overlay. I do find Symlink a bit temperamental, yes. Yeah, I usually find if the pink arrow disappears and I just restart Symlink, it works, but not always. Yeah, as you say, yeah, reload. I mean, that's the beauty of not actually being trained in anything, Jenny, though, you see. You can assume competence in whatever you like. Mark, hello, some of your comments are coming through, some are not. Oh, that's weird, I'm sorry about that. Try them again, what have you been saying? You don't seem like someone who would be typing a string of expletives. Yeah, I've done it once, Matt, and it went better than the time I did the other RNAV approach, which is probably just luck. But yeah, I feel more confident with that one than the RNAV F, to be honest. I don't know why. False confidence, I'm sure. What's the file name that you need to install the CRJ? I don't know. So you've bought it through Aerosoft or SimMarket. You've downloaded the installer. Double click on that. That's all you have to do. I should join the government. You are right. You're in the wrong place for the explosions, Luke. It's not that kind of a channel, I'm afraid. Travelographer 801. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Just taken off in the CRJ700 at EGKK and had your first crash to desktop. Oh no! Oh, bad luck. I had a crash to desktop in the A320 after I parked up at Nice the other day. Don't know why. Are you starting again, or has it driven you slightly too mad to face it? Yeah, most approaches, if there's an ILS available, I'll do the ILS. Yeah, I don't know about plenty. I'll go with some. So, Mark, Caffell's custom Club Filbert emojis are working. So I don't think it can be that. Try typing a string of custom emojis. See what happens. And I'll use that as a handy lead-in to my Club Filbert spiel. Yeah, all right, deal, Matt. How's everything going with you anyway? Have you finished your old job yet? It's going to be a flight to Helsinki. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one to bother starting again, isn't it? At this time, I suppose. Yeah, so the chat that you actually see in the stream is done via Restream chat, and that doesn't, as you can see, display the emojis in it. But they do, yeah, so those three you just typed did come up in YouTube chat without a problem, so... Yeah, I don't think it's that. YouTube's sometimes a bit funny about what it censors. And I actually don't have the YouTube window open, so I can't see if it has censored anything. It would be good. It would be good if it could support emojis, but it doesn't even do the default ones. Restream chat, unfortunately. No, I reckon it's incorrectly moderated or censored something you said. It seems to be working now. That's the main thing. US flights are so much different than European ones. They are. They are. Do I know how to find top of descent in the CRJ? I mean, it should do it automatically once you've finished your flight plan. So the first thing I'd check, Exile, is whether you have any discontinuities. If you've got discontinuities, it probably won't display the top of descent. But yeah, it's always come up for me. Ah, fantastic! Gosh, has it been that long? I suppose it has since we did our last video, isn't it? It's been a month, I guess. And you had 2 weeks left then. You've bought 32 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, no worries, no worries. Anyway, talking of custom emojis, if any of you are curious about those, they are... Ooh, we're a bit fast, are we? Bit fast. Yes, the auto switch over between Mac and speed hasn't hasn't happened at the right point, so we'll just slow it down to 0.79. Custom emojis are a feature of Club Filbert membership, which is my YouTube membership program. So if you like what I do and you'd like to give me a little bit of money, a very small amount of money each month, then you can do that by clicking the join button below. And there are 2 tiers, Club Filbert Bronze, which gives you access to the emojis and the custom badges, as you'll notice some people displaying on the chat here. And also private members-only channels on my Discord server. If you stump up a little bit more money each month, then you also get a monthly members-only private live stream with Club Filbert Silver. And if you don't want to do any of that, then there are other ways to support me. You can subscribe, which is free. Click the thumbs up button, which is also free. And maybe you want to give me a little bit of money, but you don't want a monthly commitment. You can do that too via streamlabs.com/filbertflies. So those are your options. Right, I've missed a lot of chat again. I'm sorry. While I was self-promoting. In one 3-hour flight, you had 3 crashes. No way! Was that in X-Plane or MSFS car? Charlie Sierra, guten Abend! Willkommen! Yeah, it's pretty blowy in here, it's true. You flew the CRJ 38 years ago. Time to pick another hairy approach to shoot, yeah. Have you flown this plane yet, Matt? The CRJ? It's not ideal, Tokyo style. Not ideal. No, this aeroplane is. I don't overspeed in it because the speed that we try and aim for is Mach 0.79, which is quite a long way from the red line. Unlike in the CJ4, where you fly as fast as you can. Exactly, and Demetrius has been a loyal subscriber for a long time, and nothing bad has happened. So you can click the subscribe button with confidence. Could be, yeah. The MFD data button yeah, well it should do, but it should also display the circle. Yeah, I mean X-Plane's pretty stable. Oh, you might be right actually, Steve. I might be speaking rubbish. Yeah, you're right. It's 0.74 Mach. So it really did switch over at the wrong time. Let's slow down a tad. Good job you're here. Yes, 290 knots, 0.74 Mach. Only one of those has a 9 in it. So yes, we don't have a top of descent here, but that's because we haven't finalised our flight plan. I think it's showing page 1 of 4. This is interesting, I've never used this. Steve, how do we cycle through the pages of this MFD data page? Or do we just have to go to... do we go to MFD Advanced perhaps? Oh, we do! It's alright, I've worked it out. I think we have a top of descent anyway. Oh, we do. It's up the top here, so in 689 nautical miles, and it says we're going to have 0 kilograms of fuel remaining, which is slightly concerning. But down here it says we're going to have 3,520 kilograms of fuel when we land, so that's good. Right, let's turn that off. We don't want that. How do we turn it off? Press the right button, that's how we turn it off. What we should have done though is gone over to the MFD menu and turned that on, which will give us an idea of how long we've got to go to the next waypoint and our final destination as well. And I think we may as well complete our arrival information. So we're going to go for the RNAV 15 Zulu via DBL. We're going to execute that and hope it doesn't fly us back to another waypoint. No, it hasn't. And then if we go to our legs page, we can sort out any discontinuities. So let me just have a quick look at my Navigraph while I do that. Oh, that looks fine. So we'll go from Zacor to DBL, get rid of that discontinuity, and then what we'll do is go to the MFD Advanced page, switch to plan mode up here, and then we'll click through and make sure that that makes sense. And if it's got a kink in it, then we can get rid of that kink. And it does have a kink in it. Yeah, so we can forget about DBL. DBL is the initial approach fix for the other RNAV approach and the thingamajig, the localizer approach, I think. So if we get rid of that, then we'll have a much more sensible route. So we'll go straight from Zacor to Sitwo. Back to MFD Advanced, click through it again, and there we are. Looks a lot more sensible, doesn't it? Awesome. Go back to the present position page, or map, or whatever it's called on this thing. And all is well. It's not very tolerant of overspeeds either. I haven't had one. I haven't had one, but I can imagine it isn't. I would never call this a Bimble Tokyo style. Do I use the fuel loader? I've done it once. But no, generally I don't bother with it. Good evening, Matt P. Welcome. So kinky, yes. We have an upgrade member to Silver. Simon! Why did I not see that? Why didn't it come up? Thank you very, very much. Welcome to Club Filbert Silver. And hopefully you are around on the 18th of April when we're doing our next private members only live stream, which is going to be from Entebbe to Nairobi and back. Maybe it just doesn't give me a... No, I've got my alert box turned up. Maybe it just doesn't give an alert for upgrades. I'm not sure. I think Streamlabs might not be doing it right. Anyway, I shall update your status on the Discord server. Mariano, welcome. Nice to see you back. How are things? And of course, as we reach our cruising flight level of 380, which is not happening in a hurry, but when it does, we'll have to keep an eye on our speed. I think yesterday we started descending before we'd even reached our cruising altitude, because it was such a short flight. Your status has been upgraded, Simon. And do tell me if my assumption about how your name should be pronounced is incorrect. So you spent some time in Flight Radar again. You found that Qatar always flies from Doha to Heathrow six times a day. Really? That's a lot of flights. And once to Gatwick as well. Wow. Can you do that in the Neo? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you can do that. So what happens with these Club Filbert Silver streams is often people fly along, and what I'm trying to do is alternate each month between a flight on VATSIM and a flight off VATSIM. This one is off VATSIM because there's not going to be any ATC online. So people are welcome to fly with me. I, for some reason, didn't foresee people wanting to do that, but they do. So you can either watch or you can join in, or both. It's a lot of flights, isn't it? Aha! Hello, welcome to the stream. The Emperor, welcome to you too. And Johan, lovely to have you all here. We are just reaching our cruising altitude at the moment, flight level 380. Been airborne for about half an hour. And we've got about an hour and 40 minutes to go until we hit Aspen. And when I say hit, I mean land at nicely. If you haven't already, do please click the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. You're moving to Stuttgart in June. Oh wow, exciting. You're hoping for a TriStar. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Where do you live at the moment? I feel like you live in the States, but I may be wrong. Do I know how to use Little Nav Map? I know the basics of it. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but yeah, I do use it. Kami, that's alright, don't you worry. Welcome to the stream. Ever so flat round here, isn't it? I'm excited about the mountains. I do, Johan, but there was someone in my stream yesterday who told me that that's pretty realistic, because he's friends with a CRJ pilot who said if you leave anti-ice on, it takes so much power out of the engines that you do climb incredibly slowly. Today I'm climbing incredibly slowly even without anti-ice on, but we're fairly heavy. Don't think I've got it on, have I? No. We're fairly heavy and we're very high, so I think again that's to be expected. Good. It's only because we spoke a bit of German yesterday and because of your surname. Good. I'm pleased. I'm pleased you're happy with Manchester. Max was in here earlier, the developer, but he's gone now. But I'm gonna point this out to him. Yes. You crash before you even get off a small way off the airport. You mean the sim crashes, or you crash the plane, Emperor? Virginia, right, okay. Well, we know someone in Stuttgart who goes by the name The Lips of Stuttgart because of... because, well, he basically offered... He's in Club Filbert and he offered to take us on a tour around the area. And he told us that he could show us all of the places where he's kissed women around Stuttgart. So, yes, hence his nickname, The Lips. But anyway, he's in the Discord server. His handle in there is DemoW888, I think. His name's Marcus. So if you want a tour guide for when you move there, you should drop him a line. CRJ being a bit underpowered and long on the climb. Yes, lots of pilot grumbles. Oh, really? I didn't know that. No, it's not a popular plane then. No? Tony Flight Train, welcome. Nice to see you. It is. It's a great airport. It's a great airport. Very good value for money. I sent him a clip of your message. I thought he'd be pleased. And he is pleased. Yeah, he left too early. You live in Austria, origins in... Ah, right. Most of your friends are either British or Canadian. Okay. Okie dokie, Demetrius. See you later. You can dispense with the mister. It's fine. It's true, the real flight is only flying at flight level 360. Yeah, SimBrief gave us flight level 380. I don't know why. Perhaps the wind's changed since that one departed. Maybe he's heavier than us. Or maybe it's just not that accurate at calculating flight levels. Yeah, I know what you mean, Matt. I know what you mean. It's interesting the number of real-world pilots who fly Flight Simulator and really enjoy it. And I think, I don't know, I think those of us who don't fly in the real world tend to take it a lot more seriously. And the people who are real-world pilots just want to mess around and do all the things they're not allowed to do in real life. Which must be quite refreshing, I guess. Yeah, that's I know what you mean, Tokyo Star. We're creeping up there. Look, we've nearly made it to flight level 380. We'll get there. There we are. Let's see what our speed does now. I imagine it'll increase, but not particularly fast. Pie? Pie? What do you mean, Emperor? Is that what you're having for your dinner? Shut the engines. I think not. We've only just got up to 380. We don't want to lose altitude now. Not even 100 foot. It's like washing machine noise in the background. No. It's probably my my vape, I think. I am still, hello Dingo, didn't know you were here. Yes, I am still in climb power. We've only just got to 380, just. So I'm keeping an eye on the speed. It's not doing a lot yet. Oh, we're nearly at Mach 0.735, nearly. That's our planned altitude, Tokyo Star. Hello Max, welcome to the stream. Don't forget, SimBrief takes into account your weight, the winds aloft, the airframe you're flying, so I tend to trust it with optimum flight levels. But as someone pointed out earlier, the real flight is flying at 360. Tony pointed out. Come fly with me, welcome, hello, how are you? Don't go up to flight level 410 with a CRJ700. I never would. not least because we don't have a CRJ700. Why is everyone just saying my name? Sorry, the Emperor. It's only allowed on the flight deck, not in the cabin. Yes, it does do step climbs. Yeah. Interestingly, it's climbing above flight level 380. Have I? Ah, it's because I've got 38,600 in there. That's why. I really struggle to see both the altitude knob which I know you can't see because I have an ultra-wide monitor. I can't see the altitude knob and the pink figure up here, which makes things hard. You have a question. When you enter a plan to the CRJ, does it sync with the Flight Simulator VFR map? No, but what you can do, come fly with me, is plan your flight on SimBrief and export it to the to Microsoft Flight Simulator format, load it in the world map screen, and then also program it into your MCDU. But it doesn't automatically sync it if you just enter it into the the CDU. Back in the sim and switched over to the pipe. Oh, nice! Yeah, that's a good antidote, I think, to crashes to desktop in... Was it the A320 you were flying? I think it was. Where are you off to in the Piper? Do you know, I think it's time, as it's Friday evening, for a beer. I'm just going to get one. I'll be back in a mo. William, welcome, welcome. Feels like ages since you've been on a stream. It's nice to have you here. How's your day been? No toast, no, don't you worry. No chips either, sadly. Mind you, I did have chips earlier with my burger, so... Or fries, probably you would call them. Oh, it's the CRJ that crashed to desktop. Yeah, right. Oh, Caernarfon to Tattenhill, beautiful. Enjoy. Words you definitely don't want, but I think I'm going to go and get a beer. Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, you pays no money, you takes your chance. So I'm just adjusting the throttles to keep us on Mach 0.74. Although we're still in the climb descent. There we are. I really need to invest in some hardware at some point. Top of the list is a throttle quadrant. Well, no, top of the list is rudder pedals, and then after that a throttle quadrant probably. Currently doing a long haul from Dublin to Newark. Oh, nice. Which plane are you flying? Good. Well, I'm glad I'm able to keep you company. Been good. Good. Yeah, so being at school is a reasonable excuse for not being here, William, but doing other things, not so much. Not so much. I'm joking, of course. Back in your day, in good old 1982 in Flight Sim, when you only had first person and just weird colours. 1982, eh? There's always someone on here who makes me feel young in spite of all the teenagers. You have the attention span of the toddler, so you spontaneously leave when you get bored. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're about to get yourself an adult beverage as well. Good for you. Exactly. You're hiring a caravan. It doesn't matter what happens. You're in the 78X. 78X, nice. How's it treating you? Will I be eager to look for an outdoor pub on the 12th, or am I going to wait? Do you know, it's an interesting question, because I've had my first dose of vaccine, and so I'm not doing anything until 3 weeks after that. And then I'm not sure. I think I would go to a pub, But I'm not as sort of desperate to do that sort of thing as I was at the beginning of all of this. You know, during the first lockdown, it really sucked not being able to go to the pub, not being able to go to out to eat, and not being able to do anything really. And now, much as I would quite like to do those things, I'm not that desperate. I mostly just want to see people and relax around people, wherever that is. So I'll see what my friends are up to. If they are up for going to the pub, I'll probably go to the pub. If they want to carry on meeting outside, sitting in parks and going for walks, I'll probably be just as happy doing that, to be honest. Back in your day, flew real planes. And what sort of real planes were they, Tokyo Star? Any advice on hardware? Do you know, Roger, I'm not an expert on hardware. I would say, I mean, I'm flying with a 1080 Ti and an i7-8700K processor and 32 gigs of RAM. And I'm getting good performance most of the time. That's obviously not what I would buy if I was building a new system today. But perhaps that gives you a little bit of a benchmark of a sort of minimum baseline. You want to rave? Yeah, I would quite like to go clubbing, actually. With the FF320? No, I don't have it. STA.300, that is a nice looking plane. I've never flown it. Dreamline's okay, but you can definitely feel it's a stand. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I flew it from London to Chicago to celebrate. Was it 1,000? I think it was 1,000 subscribers. And I figured that was enough for me. Hence my A320 transatlantic on Sunday week. Gonna crack a cold one open as well. Good, good, good. We'll have a fun approach into Aspen together. So my system came overclocked. I don't know anything about overclocking. I've just left it alone. The manufacturer did it all for me. But you know, if I was building a system now, I'd get a 3080 for sure and a faster processor, and then there'd probably be no tricky overclocking or anything. You worked your asses off for a sop with Camel. I think he was robbed. Yeah, that's what I get, Dan, as well. So I had a few stutters and I get the odd pause around really busy areas, but it flies a lot, it works a lot better than I expected. I thought I'd get it and I'd be really disappointed with the performance and I'd spend loads of money on upgrades, and I just haven't, which is nice. But the day's definitely coming when I will do that. When I took off from SBRJ, the CRJ FMS ignores runways that are too short for it. So the A320 was defo too big. But they do fly, it's a real flight in a real A320. So it can't have been too big, it must have just been too loaded. How's the oceanic stuff coming along? I haven't started my oceanic homework yet because I was out today, and I'm out tomorrow, and I'm out a little bit on Sunday, but I want to do a stream in the afternoon. So the clock is ticking, but I'm in work Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so I'm planning on doing some swatting up while I'm at work. So it is losing speed the second I take it out of the climb detent. So I'm just going to leave it in the climb detent and have to just knock it in and out as we get too fast or too slow, I guess. It just won't show up in the FMS. That's weird. But you reckon that's because the runway's too short? It can't be though. It can't be too short for a CRJ. Do you have Navigraph, Steve? And if so, have you installed the Navigraph nav data into the FMS? It might be worth a go. Oh, it is a thing then, Matthew. There's a company option. Interesting. How long are the runways at Santos? What's it? Let me have a look. So the longest is 4,341 feet, and the other's 4,134. So that, from what you're saying, it sounds like that is long enough for the CRJ. And if it's long enough for the A320, it must be long enough for the CRJ, no? Musty Putin, hello! Welcome to the stream. You'd get there with it, Jason. I've got there. Doesn't always go perfectly, but I sort of have my head round it now. Well, Kai, this is what's happening on Sunday week. My first VATSIM transatlantic. Well, that sounds like a bug to me, Steve. That sounds like a bug. Because it's long enough. I'm sure it's long enough. Peekaboo, hello! Welcome back, welcome back. How are you? Could do Gatwick or Manchester to Keflavik. That's not a bad shout. I'm going to add that to the list. Well, in fact, it was already sort of on the list, but I'm going to add it specifically to the list for oceanic practice. Probably won't have time before next Sunday, though. Ah, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that they would just have the airports that they will be using. Do you fly the 700s then, Matthew? Good, I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're well. Just a timely reminder, anyone who hasn't clicked subscribe but is quite enjoying the stream, do please click that button. Makes all the difference to my mental state. Okay, right. Do you have a preference between the two? Yeah, I would have assumed you'd cross through Shenwick's airspace. One of my least favourite things about Pilot to ATC is that it doesn't properly simulate oceanic airspace. I used to use what was it called? Radar Contact. That was a brilliant add-on, really old, but it did oceanic procedures fairly well. if I remember rightly. The 900 blows the 700 out of the water. Yeah. Well, I have to say I was a bit disappointed they brought the 700 out before the 900, because basically it's not flown in Europe anymore by anyone other than Air France HOP, and they have a fairly limited route network. So when the 900 comes out, we'll be able to do all the SAS flights and all of the Lufthansa regionals and Air Nostrum. It's really going to open the world up. To be fair, I might do some of those in the 700 and just pretend. But I am a little bit obsessive about flying real world routes, so yeah, can't wait for the 900. Nice. And it has proper VNAV, doesn't it, if I'm not mistaken? Interesting idea, Musty Putin. Oof, a bit blustery. I break my own code. What do you mean? Oh right, if I pretended this was a 900. Yeah, it's true. It's possible. But it's these Club Filbert Silver people. They've got me, well, on a bad path. It's an option. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought they all did. Option on the 900 and 1000 to have coupled VNAV. Steve here flies the 700 with coupled VNAV because he found an option on the EFB. I won't lower myself to that level though. I don't think so, Tokyo Still. I haven't heard of any Fokkers coming out for this scene. Ooh, we've got Fort Worth Centre online. I don't suppose we're going through their airspace, are we? I don't really know how America works. No, I don't think we are. No, we're not. Shame. Pretty good coverage on the East Coast, but none where we're going. One other inbound to Aspen. A GLF6? What's a GLF6? You bronze people are vastly superior. Oh, it's a Gulfstream. Who's got a Gulfstream? I want a Gulfstream. Never mind. I always thought there were no Gulfstreams available for any sim because they were a bit funny about licensing. Someone's flying a 777 from Heathrow to Las Vegas. Jealous of that as well. Oh, speed's dropped. There we are, you see. Take your eye off the ball for a minute, everything goes wrong. Yours don't, so you fly with the advisory VNAV, which is just as well you prefer having more control. Ah, there we are. Eduardo, hello. Hello to you. Bom dia. Question for me. If you can't get ATIS on the MCDU, how else can you get it? You can get it through vPilot. I mean, you can only really get ATIS on VATSIM if the position is manned by a controller, which usually only happens if there's ground or tower online. If you can't get ATIS, then you just have to get the METAR and make an educated guess based on that. We do. Maybe he's just pretending, maybe he's just putting the wrong type code, but he's actually flying something else. I do use VATSpy, yes, I do. No, I like to use VATSpy. But don't forget, 9 times out of 10, if you enter someone's well, they will always send you a contact me message on vPilot. So it's not essential to use anything to know who's online. See, I'm a little bit worried now because I'm in the climb detent, but our airspeed is dropping. That can't be right. And it thinks our target speed is around the 200 knots mark. That doesn't make sense either, because we want to be flying at Mach 0.74. Well, there is no ILS at Aspen, Tokyo. There's a localizer, there's an RNAV, well in fact there are 2 RNAVs, but no full ILS. But yes, I believe you need special training for any of the approaches there. Robert, hello. It is a fun airport to land at, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know that coupled VNAV tends to be chaotic and aggressive. That is news to me. Very interesting. On vPilot, how do you know if you have a text? You get a beep. It goes doo-doo-doo. And then you get up at the top where you've got messages and notes, you get another tab appear. Normally you will only get one if a new controller is asking you to contact them, or if a pilot wants to send you a private message. Right, we're going to have to go into the toga power because our speed keeps dropping off. Deploy and stow the flight spoilers with the handle in the VC as an invisible deployed spot. Oh, okay. See if that makes a difference. No, we're still losing speed. Let's try max. Could we possibly have icing? Seems very unlikely, seeing as there are no clouds and we haven't been through any clouds. Anyway, something's going wrong and I don't like it. Speed's still dropping. Localizer live. It is interesting, isn't it? It is interesting. Once my eyes is set to visual only, purely because of this aircraft. I'm just going to go into the settings and double check that. Is it under assistance? Yeah, icing effects, visual only. I haven't run out of fuel. Bradley, it was going very well, but now the aircraft's losing speed and I don't know why. I will descend. I will descend if I don't get anywhere. But we'll try a bit of full power for a minute. No, it's still dropping, isn't it? You've definitely seen where visual only isn't only visual. Okay, well let's stick the anti-ice on for a bit then. Of course that's going to suck some power away from the engine, so we'll probably lose even more speed. Let's descend. Let's go down to flight level 360. If it's good enough for the real flight, it's good enough for us. Try toggling the speed brace. Yeah, I did do that before pressing escape, but I'll do it again just in case. I haven't... That was the first... Let's use the / key. Let's increase our rate of descent. Try and get that speed back. Hooray, we're accelerating, at last. Happened to you and you just descended to 2000 Right, okay, what we're doing essentially. Good. Yeah, it's a bug, Jason. It can only possibly be a bug. Could be icing, which is a bug. Could be the plane, which has bugs. But I can't think of any good reason for it other than that. Unless you can, Matthew. Suddenly dropped out of the sky. Yeah, still needs a little work, doesn't it, this plane? Bring on the next patch, eh? What is the SAT? -55. So there shouldn't be any icing happening in -55, right? Yeah, we're still slowing down, even though the throttles are all the way forward. Let's turn the anti-ice off. Okay, I think we're speeding up now. There we are. Tense times. Tense times. No. Well, I'm very glad you're here because sometimes I don't know if it's me or the sim. And tonight I can say with some confidence it's the sim. My FIDS? What's my FIDS, Tokyo Star? Flight Isolation and Detection System. I don't know what that is. Do you mean, is that like the ICAS? Can't see any of the pages because it's too bright. Oh yeah, the wobble's definitely a bug. Definitely a bug. I think it's gonna happen if you send a bit fast. But we were straight and level when this started. Cerebellum. We were at flight level 380. cruising along quite happily. We don't talk about Paro Kai. Oh, right, okay. What Mach was the aircraft cruising at earlier? We were doing 0.74. I've had very, very slow climbs, but I've never not been able to climb. But I have had this before, the speed just dropping off and not being able to regain it without some fairly quick descent. Do you know what? I'm just going to let it speed up a little bit more. We'll go for 0.75 Mach. And that way there's a bit of margin for error. Oh, nice! You're nearly there, Kai. Hope it goes well. You're in the A350 again, right? Yeah, 10,000's low for it not to want to climb anymore. That's really odd. Were you in speed mode or were you in vertical speed? Still testing out. I watched Ben flying it last night, and I have to say I was quite impressed. It looks pretty good. Capital of Iceland, Tokyo Star. There's an A350 mod out, but it's for X-plane, like almost all of the good planes that are being released at a rate of knots at the moment. That should be good then. Good. CRJ's thrust limited, so it's not uncommon for the aircraft to get into the region of reverse command, where slower speed will cause more drag and then it turns into a negative feedback loop, as the aircraft doesn't have the power to accelerate. Ah, okay. It could be that while I was busy looking outside, I didn't have the throttle set quite high enough, and so it started to lose speed and then got into that negative feedback loop. It's possible. I think I did look away from it for about a minute, which would be enough for it to slow down too much. But would you expect that to happen? Like, what sort of speed would you expect that to start happening at? Because I think the slowest I got before I noticed what was going on was 0.64 Mach, something like that. This quarter is when the Glamwing 787's out. I don't think we know any more than that. But yeah, sometime this quarter, hopefully. Best part of the A350 is that if you press the cabin call button lots of times, you kill the flight attendant. What? How does that work? The 900, once you get slower than 220-ish indicated in the upper 30s. Well, I'm pretty sure we didn't get that slow in this. Well, maybe we did. Maybe we did. Yeah, 0.64 Mach is showing as about 210 indicated. So that could be it. That could be what happened. I'm not quite prepared yet to say it was definitely pilot error, but I'm prepared to entertain the possibility. Bailey, hello, welcome. How are you? Yeah, so maybe that is what happened then. That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird, Kai. Yeah, pretty well, thank you. Pretty well. Well, we'll stick at flight level 360, and I'll make sure we don't slip below 220. Touch wood. But people want to look out the windows, Matthew. This is the thing. So basically, I think what I'm saying here is it's CAFL's fault. Have a little look out the window, and then we'll go straight back to the cockpit. Oh, have you? I haven't had it in the CJ4, but that's because I spend most of my time in the CJ4 overspeeding, so I never get too slow. What was the joke? I'm going to have to scroll up. It's definitely not going to be funny. Oh, we have a psycho in the server. You meant server. You said server. Are you referring to killing the cabin crew? I mean, that's not really him, that's flight factor. See, already we're getting a little slow. Such a problem, CRJ, that you printed minimum speed charts for each altitude and weight. Oh, right. Gosh. So what do you do about it? Do you have to descend, I guess, to get the speed back up if that happens? All right, good luck with your approach, Kai. No, I haven't. I haven't. That hasn't happened to me yet. Do you know, I think this is probably my longest CRJ flight to date. I think most of them are about an hour. Have to descend, right. So I may have got us into this mess, but I did the right thing to get us out of it. That's something. Plus it was CAFL's fault anyway, so I feel pretty good. Doesn't it, Top Flanson? The only reason I turned the blooming thing on was because of the CRJ. It's all good now. It's all good now. We're cruising along at 0.76 Mach at flight level 360. And with a bit of luck, we won't have any more drama until the approach now. With a bit of luck. About two-thirds, almost two-thirds of the way there. 55 minutes left to run. And we'll be at our top of descent. Apparently in 19 minutes and 60 seconds. Oh dear. Let's switch to the VNav window. Oh yeah, panic over. Panic over. Everything's going swimmingly now. Once you drop to a lower altitude and climb back up, you lose all that extra speed. Yes, yeah. Well, I've solved that by not climbing higher. We're just going to cruise at flight level 360 now. You've got the... Oh, right, yeah. What is our weight? Ah, let's see. Well, let's see from here. This will give us more accurate figures. I think it's 28,863 kilograms at the moment. bit less because we've burnt some fuel. Our fuel's 3255. So about 2,700, something like that. Sorry, 20. Maths. I can't do maths. Fuel's 3245. Payload is 5191. 5678 191 8291 8391 8431 8431 plus empty weight. 28,800 kilograms. That's our current weight, give or take. AU pilot, hello, hello. As Matthew's been saying, if you get too slow at high altitude, you get to a point where even max thrust will not accelerate the aircraft. A faster cruise speed will help. Good, good, good. I got your email by the... Oh no, hang on. Hang on, you're not who I thought you were. You're you! How are you? How's your time at home going? I was about to say I had an email from AU Scene today, who did the Australian sceneries, Ayers Rock, and they've got a new one coming out. And I was going to say, I've been meaning to reply to your email, but you haven't emailed me. So we got 2 real-world CRJ pilots on tonight. It's very exciting. Minimum speed 231 knots at flight level 360 and 380. Well, we definitely slipped below that. So there we are. We have the answer. Thank you very much. Yes, you will burn more fuel. This is true. So what speed do you guys typically cruise at? I mean, I've just been using Mach 0.74, but do you sometimes push it beyond that? Satira, hello. Welcome back. How are you? .78 to .82 and up to .83 in the 700. Right. That is fast. Well, we've got loads of fuel. Let's push things up a little bit, shall we? In the 700, 900, you usually do between 0.77 and 0.8. Okay, depending on if you're on time or late. Well, let's split the difference and do 0.8. Welcome back, Karen. Oh, hang on, AU pilot. Dingo, are you still here? Dingo thought he might know you. Did you move from Australia to the States to fly the CRJ? I've made a note of something to tell you which would determine whether you do know each other or not. Basically, he had a neighbour in Australia who left to train to be a pilot and got a job with a regional airline in the States, and he thought it was flying the CRJ. Okay. Rare that you cruise slower than 0.78. Well, that's good enough for me. I'm doing 0.81 now. You're not Australian. The AU in your name refers to something else. Okay, I thought it might. I thought that would be such a coincidence, though, if you did know each other. Filbert flies first, you know, bringing two long-lost neighbours together. It was always a bit of a long shot. Could be Austrian, could be from Austin, Texas. Could be made of gold, could be a number of things. Hello, Francesco. We are going to Austin. No, we're not. We're going to Aspen, Colorado. Oh, there are a lot of Aussies flying there. Interesting. Harrison, hello. Congrats on finishing work. Was that your last night shift? Oh, is it, Kai? Fortunately, you've got a very capable plane there. Oh yeah, it is. 220 at 14 knots. Drizzle. Few clouds at 1,000. Overcast at 1,600. I've got faith that you can land in there. Hello, Rodrigo. How are you? How are you? One more night. You can do that. That's not too bad. How many did you do on the bounce then? Seems like you've been at them for a long time. Must be 5? 5 or 6? No worries, Francesco. Just like to think you can fly in this period. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm basically what remains of the airline industry. You shouldn't need to do an auto land though. 1,000-foot ceiling. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you, Rodrigo. 7 in a row, then 2 mornings right after. God, that's hell. That is hellish. Yeah, I think I'd enjoy the kangaroos and the possums and the wombats. But yeah, not so much the creepy crawlers or the snakes. That is interesting, Matthew. That is interesting. Why is that? So it's I know there are United Express flights and American flights, so I guess it's SkyWest and whoever flies United Express. I can't remember what they're called. Tell you what, this scenery hasn't really changed since we left Chicago, is it? Boring flat Midwest, yeah. But it's worth flying over it because we're going to Colorado, which is stunning. Whole lot of cornfields, yeah. No, it's very ordered though, isn't it? You've got just straight lines as far as the eye can see. Straight lines and fields. It is fascinating just how different one piece of flat land can look to another. Like, you compare this to anywhere in Europe. It looks completely different, even places with a similar climate. About the same thing you think when you drive out from Chicago to Colorado, yeah. How long does it take to drive? So what's Aspen? Skiing? Yeah, I think it's a skiing destination. A lot of rich people go to Aspen, I know that much. The airport's always full of business jets. Skiing, hiking, that sort of thing, I think. Silas, hello, welcome to the stream. Brazil. I've done a little bit of flying in Brazil. I'd like to do some more. Like, you drove from Chicago to New Orleans, yeah. You can fall asleep. I actually got the train from Chicago as far as Memphis, and then we hired a car there for the rest of it. So we went on the City of New Orleans, as sung about by Willie Nelson and other singers, which I was excited to find is still a regular scheduled service. Trying to remember what the name of the other one was. Oh, the other what? What have I missed? Oh, the other airline. I see. Oh, they closed down then. Okay. No, I don't stream every day. I work shifts, so I do 12-hour shifts, and when I'm working, I don't stream. And when I have a social life, I don't stream. But other than that, I mostly stream. What do I do in real life? I work for the railway in real life. I've been simming for about 20 years, and I've done a little bit of flying in Cessna 152s. But most of what I know about aviation comes from my simulator experience. Thanks to the township and range system, they broke most of the USA into square parcels. Ah, okay. I'm going to have to do some reading on that. Based on Denver flew -8s. Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's alright, Captain. It's happy to give limited details about my real life. Find it relaxing to watch, something different of what you see usually here in Italy. Yes, yeah, it's quite mesmerising, isn't it, the landscape? Robert Avon, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Filbert Flies. You're not a Club Filbert member, but you still want to ask if I can do a flight from IAD to JFK. I'll add it to the list. The list is very, very, very long, but yes, yeah, I'll add it. Something weird's going on with Streamlabs, isn't it? I'm getting a lot of delayed notifications coming through. But anyway, Robert Avent, Dave, and GreenTop99, if you are watching and you didn't subscribe like 3 days ago or something, thank you very much. Oh, were you? Nice. How many days am I in for next week? 3.5. Quite a lot. Runway in sight, awesome. Awesome. Good luck. Yeah. The late donation alerts seem to have stopped, so that's something, or the repeated donation alerts. People's stuff were coming up over and over again for a period of weeks, but at least that's over. Touch wood. No worries, Tokyo Style. See you in a mo. You were a fireman at Feltham? As in on... It's probably a stupid question, but you mean you started on steam locos as a fireman? Or do you mean you were like a firefighter after you were a train driver? So no other... Well, there is one other inbound to Aspen, but they're a long way behind us. Coming from KTKI, McKinney Municipal, Texas. He hasn't taken off yet, though. You can't find me on the VATSIM map. I am there. SkyWest 3188. Well, I never. What a career. Did you enjoy it? Oh, nice. That's very exciting, Captain. Are you in the States? 63, 64 you started. Wow. Do you know, listening to people's stories of British Rail and even pre-British Rail, the few people who are around then, I definitely think I joined the rail industry too late. Sounds like, I mean, obviously the pay's a lot better than it used to be and the conditions are a lot better than they used to be, but I think you lot had a lot more fun in the you know, in the mid part of the 20th century. Oh, in Europe, okay. Yes, I had a bit of a break from simming until MSFS came along, and that, yeah, I'm very much, well, as you can see, I'm very much back into it now. Hello, Melmore. The original payphone is 5,200 foot long by 60 foot wide. Oh, yeah, right, okay. Gosh. Finished driver at Wimbledon, then you moved to BA in 1978. Oh, and what did you do with BA? Airbus, Boeing or Embraer? I've never flown an Embraer. Personally, and don't ask me to explain why, I don't really know, I prefer short-haul Airbus, long-haul Boeing. time are we on now? 1932, so about half an hour away from our top of descent. And what I'm going to do now, because it takes forever, is to set our landing elevation, which is going to be 7,650 odd feet. I popped out the wrong panel, haven't I? You won't be able to see this because I'm only sharing the window. Actually, it's not the landing elevation that takes forever, I think it's the decision height. Why? I don't really know why. I like flying A320s, but when I'm doing a long haul, nothing quite feels as satisfying as taking a 747 across the pond, or even a 777. They feel like proper long haul aircraft, whereas the Airbuses just feel kind of like stretched versions of the short haul fleet. Peekaboo! Thank you very much indeed for the donation.
Happy landing.
You're a very generous
good night.
man. Good night to you too. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure. And not just because of the money. Crew transport driver. Ah, okay. How would I rate the game in terms of simulation? Well, in terms of simulation, it's not quite got the depth, systems depth or fidelity of X-Plane or P3D, or even some of the advanced airliners that we had in FSX. But in terms of making you feel like you're really flying, I don't think it can be beaten. Because you're flying over real terrain, you're flying in real weather, and the whole world looks more real than anything in any other sim before it. So for me, at least, that makes up for the slightly dodgy planes and slightly dodgy physics and the various other little things that are irritating about this sim. To be fair, I've never flown the A380, Harrison. I'm very excited about the fly-by-wire one. And that might change everything. I don't know. It might well change everything. Our decision height is going to be 10,200 feet, and that's the thing that takes ages to put in. So we're going to do that now. I shouldn't say decision height, I mean MDA. Just going to get rid of the yoke to give me a bit more room. And as you can see, we go up in tens, and it's really slow. I'm going to try Harrison's trick of using my whole hand to scroll the wheel rather than just my fingertip. This is good. This is a good idea. Oh yeah, it's going to make light work of it. And it will delay the onset of RSI. Carpal tunnel or what have you. I've flown on one. I've flown on one in real life, but I've never piloted one in a sim. And it was the most comfortable airliner I've ever been on. You can see that once you get above 10,000 feet, it gets quite hard to see. 980, 990, 10,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. And 20. There we are, that's how MDA is set. Landed, well done. How was it, Kai? How was it? Embraer is your favourite jet company, is it? Okay. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for the PMDG aircraft to come here. MSFS is still a little bit in public beta, it's true. Yeah, I certainly think if you're wanting to invest in a sim now, personally, sorry Ben, Personally, I think you'd be mad to invest in anything other than MSFS. Because I think there's so much fun to be had in it. So much realism, so much of the world to see. And it's definitely the future, but it's not quite there yet. I wouldn't describe it as an arcade game. It's like a good sim with potential to be a great sim, but some deficiencies. Chernobyl's on the wrong side of the world. I can't go via Chernobyl, Natalie, unfortunately. Chicago to Denver via Chernobyl would be beyond the capabilities of this aircraft and my brain. Yeah, they do. They were all square before, though. Now we've got, as you can see, we're coming from almost entirely square fields to some rectangular ones. So that's a bit of a change. Envoy, that rings a bell. CRJ is the only aircraft that can fly into there. And Envoy no longer has any CRJs. SkyWest is the only one there. So does SkyWest operate the United Express flights as well then? Why should you never wear Ukrainian pants? You think about this. It's got to be radiation related. But I don't know. Why shouldn't you wear Ukrainian pants? Not bad, Kai. Not bad. That's dreadful, but yeah, I mean, fair play. Yeah, it's true, Cerebellum. But Working Title have done a good job on improving the G1000. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. United Express, Delta Connection, and American Eagle flights into Aspen are all operated by SkyWest. Interesting. Yeah, I did a couple of United Express flights to, well, just from Aspen to Denver and back. It's my only previous experience of flying into Aspen. In this sim, at least. My favourite aircraft has got to be the Concorde. Second favourite, the 747-400, or the 747 Classics. There isn't, Ian. I don't think we even know it's coming this month. It's coming this quarter, but I don't think we know when yet. I've got to be honest. I don't even really know how to use the G1000. It's all a bit of a mystery to me, so I couldn't comment on what should be there and shouldn't. I don't actually listen to any aviation podcasts. Do you have any recommendations? You did, William. You did well. You did well. Hello, Douglas. A vague question. Are stars only used for airports are busy? No. No, if an airport has stars, they tend to be used all the time. But ATC may well give you shortcuts off the star, so they may give you vectors early on or a direct to, so you wouldn't necessarily fly the whole thing. That's my understanding anyway. All that stuff is... Oh, hang on, I missed it. Does the Quality Wing 787... It's supposed to come out this quarter. I haven't heard anything lately, but they said quarter two in 2021. So hopefully they're still on track for that. That's exciting, Matt. That's exciting. I'm pleased you're carrying on with it. Not so much for my sake, because I don't fly enough GA to make it worthwhile, but for everyone else's. Airline Pilot Guys are great fun. Features form that dog. Oh right. Nice. I'll check that out. Do you know, I didn't even know there were any 727s flying these days with major airlines. There you go. The A3 out, when is that? We don't know, I don't think. I certainly haven't heard when it's going to be out. Looked harder than it was. Well, that's always good. Better than the other way around. Right, interesting, Matthew. Yeah, if you're flying in the sim and you're not flying with online ATC, then yeah, just give yourself a direct to or vectors or something. Ah, 717. Okay, it's a shame. I like the 727. It's a nice plane. One of the earliest add-ons I got for a sim back in the day, probably FS98 or something like that. Oh, so I don't know if I've told you this already. I may or may not have done, but I did an interview. I recorded an interview for Sky Blue Radio with Willie Canuck, who was in the stream yesterday, and that's going to be broadcast not this Sunday but next Sunday the 11th at 2 p.m. UK time, 1300 Zulu. So you'll be able to tune in and listen to that if you'd like to. I chose 4 songs and he asked me some questions. It was good fun. I will be in the middle of my transatlantic stream, so what I thought, for those of you who are watching, when it comes on, we could all head over to the Sky Blue Radio Discord server and listen to it, listen to me live. And yeah, might be nice, might not, no obligation. Yes, yeah, that's almost definitely the case, Douglas. Oh yeah, that's your birthday as well, isn't it, Ian? Yeah. A lot to celebrate on the 11th. And we can see the mountains ahead of us. Exciting. And we are 80 miles to our top of descent. 80 miles from our top of descent. Where to and what am I flying? I'm flying the A320 from New York JFK to Dublin. Do you know, sausage rolls didn't even come up in the interview, Harrison? I don't know why. Do you know, I did see Dumb and Dumber 1, but I really have very little memory of it. What went on in Aspen? Hello, Chris Cross. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's a lot of filler. You're not going to listen to me. What I'm going to do, I can't broadcast it because copyright. But you can go and listen to it. Mute the sound on my stream. I won't be saying much anyway. And I'll listen to it as well. So we'll be listening to it together. It is a lot of flight sim stuff, I'm afraid, Harrison. Yeah, and who would have thought it went back 200 years to land being sold off in these square plots? It's just static, Captain. I don't know if it's even possible to have interactive cabins in this sim. I certainly haven't seen them so far. Ah, yeah, I remember. I remember it in there. Yeah. So all we need now is for the approach and landing to go well, and I think we can put this down as a successful flight. Arco. Oh, thank you very much. From St. Louis. Maybe I can do a flight from KSTL in the future. If there's scenery, Arco. If there's scenery, I'll do it. If there isn't scenery, I probably won't. Because I hate flying to and from default autogen airports. Call me precious if you will. But it just kills the immersion for me. Oh, there's a work in progress. Apparently, or there was in June 2020. That's quite a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not seeing any news on KSTL. Not since this thread on FS Developer. Oh, mind you, it's still being updated from the looks of it. January, the developer posted something. They've decided to stop work on the P3D version, finish it up for MSFS first. March, oh, it's still, yeah, still being developed, so I think it will come. Oh, that sounds bleak, Matthew. 4 hours, so 4 hours into a 10-hour shift, just sitting in your car. Living the dream. Or maybe a flight from LQSA. If anyone's interested, this is the thread on the St. Louis Lambert Airport add-on. Where's LQSA? I don't even know where that is. Sarajevo. Oh, okay. Again, if there's scenery for it, I'm well up for that. There's X-plane scenery. Is there MSFS scenery? Yes, there is. Looks a little bit pants, if I'm honest. But if the price is right, could be doable. How much is it? 18 euros. They did. For those interested, this is the LQSA scenery from MXI Design. Ooh, the views are getting a bit better now, aren't they? Look at that. So when did you leave Sarajevo and go to St. Louis? Okay. Right, let's sort out our landing speeds. 138, interesting. 2 knots slower than yesterday. We'll set that now. We may update it, see if it changes as we're descending, but at least that way we can't forget it. Should be free. Yeah, I tend to agree. I tend to agree, Captain. Moved to the States in 2001, originally to Connecticut. Ah, right, nice. Been there a fair old while now. Do you go back to Sarajevo often? Do you go home much? I suppose it's not home anymore, is it, if you've been there since 2017? 2001 even. Steve, Aspen is totally worth it. Totally worth it. I hope my landing makes it worthwhile, but whatever happens with the landing, you'll enjoy the scenery. I guarantee that much. Last time I flew in here, the weather was really dreadful. So it's nice to have clear skies for a change. This is Denver down below us, I believe. I think. Yes, it is. We may even see the airport, actually, if we look over the right wing. Over the right wing? I can't remember where it is in relation to where we are now, actually, or in relation to the city. No, wrong one. Okay, Den, right? Oh, it's behind us, we've passed it. There it is, there's Denver Airport. Oh, okay. Cool. I've never been to Dubrovnik or to Bosnia, actually, but I imagine it to be very beautiful. Yeah, Ian. I mean, you cannot beat MSFS scenery. It's true. Nothing comes close. The graphics are stunning. Look further behind for DIA. Yeah, I think I spotted it. I don't know where DIA is. I don't know what DIA is either, to be honest. I guess it's a smaller Denver airport of some sort. Didn't John Denver crash in Aspen? Don't know. I haven't heard that. Right, let's get our altitude dialed down, ready for our top of descent. And we're going to start. I haven't gotten a plate for this approach, and I can't remember what altitude we want to be at, but we'll start by going down to flight level 200. And then if I look at the flight plan page, right, let's go to the direct ITC page. So at Zakor we want to be at 16,100. Yeah, I wish I did have a chart for this approach, really. Anyway, 20,000 feet sounds like a good starting point, doesn't it? and our initial descent rate is going to be 2,000 feet per minute, something like that. Oh, DIA Denver International Airport, thank you. Another noob question. The difference between the approach charts and star charts. Like, do stars just link from your final waypoint? Yes, exactly, Douglas. But I can go one better than that. I did a whole tutorial on this. Oh, let's start our descent before I start looking for that. I did a whole tutorial on reading charts. I think it's my best video. It's also my least popular video. But I'll send you a link and you can make your own mind up. It might be useful for you. Yes, I am using the Bing Maps streaming function, yes. Here is my tutorial on how to read charts. That crash was... Did he? His homemade plane, wow. It is awesome, isn't it, BA Styler? The scenery here is absolutely stunning. I plan my flights on SimBrief. Done a video on that as well. Ah, no worries. Got to get dinner. Ah, okay, it's great. Thanks, Arco. Thanks for saying. Nice to have you here, and hope to see you again. Enjoy your dinner. Chart reading attracts all the clicks. Yeah, I don't know why I ever thought it was going to be popular, or quite why I did it. It took me blooming ages, but the select few who have watched it have found it useful. Thank you, BA Styler. I appreciate the vote of confidence, I think. I know. This is... I think I've started taking it for granted a little bit, but when I first got this sim, it was just mind-blowing. It really was. And it still is, you know. You come to places like this and you think this is what it would look like from the cockpit of an actual aircraft. And it's just incredible. Oh, we're getting a little fast, and we're a little high, so let's slow down and increase our descent rate a little. The flight plan is pinned to the top, so you can plan it yourself on SimBrief, or just input it manually using the waypoints from that flight plan. I can't actually upload a file to YouTube, unfortunately. It was a necessary sacrifice. It's just absolutely right. I consider myself something of a martyr for having done that video. You didn't, Demetrius. No, you didn't miss the crash. Another vote of confidence there. We're only 8 minutes away, apparently. Goodness me. Of course, it's very high. I normally turn the seatbelt sign on and that at 20,000 feet, but we'll be almost on the ground if I wait too long. So we'll do it now. Tony Me, welcome. Oh, I'm glad you made it in time. Really? So you started as a simmer and then pursued it all the way to the left seat. It's amazing. I'm starting to have a little bit of anxiety for myself, Francesco, to be honest. Yes, I did. Yeah, I imported the flight plan from the SimBrief file. Yes, I have done a video on that too. So because of the steep approach, I think we want to be fully configured by the time we get to Naldi, or at the latest by the time we get to Naldi. Anyone who knows this airport for real and can either confirm or deny this, I would appreciate the input. I might save the butter for the runway if it's all the same to you, Demetrius. Steve meant I've done a video on how to import a flight plan into the CRJ, Jason. Oh, nice, Jenny. Pity you're not on VATSIM. It's not really a pity. It's each to their own. I don't see you on Volanta. I thought you were on Volanta at least. Right, let's get the speed down now and we can keep our descent going. We'll follow the VNAV path. So it's switched back to airspeed mode as opposed to Mach mode. You see the shaking from the wind? Yes, yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah, so it... Oh, why is Siri talking to me? Yeah, so it does simulate turbulence, this sim. It's the first one that's really looked at airflow over mountains and that sort of thing. Grew up simming, turned that into getting through pilot training and time building. Amazing. Yeah. Let's get the speed right down now, I think. In fact, so I have less to think about later, I'm just going to set my speed bug to VREF now, which is 138 knots. And we'll stick the landing lights on. And we'll do our descent checklist. I haven't armed the thrust reversers, but other than that, I think we're alright. Well, we will. Oh, I've skipped a checklist, that's what's gone on there. Descent, landing elevation I've set, fuel's checked, TCAS is set, radar doesn't work, CAS is checked, landing data's set, approach briefing. Approach briefing. We're gonna fly the plane down to the runway and try not to hit a mountain on the way. There you go, that's your approach briefing. There's just too much moving of the view. You should be able to donate, Creamhole. Have you tried going to streamlabs.com/filbertflies? I don't know if the super chat is quite the same. Although I know some people have had trouble with the super chat. Well, thank you for trying to donate anyway, whether you end up being able to do it or not. So winds 320 at 9, gusting at 18, and the QNH, not the QNH, the altimeter setting is 3020. But we'll use the sim setting so we get accurate altitudes, which is 3018. I think so too, Asa. Or Asa, sorry, I don't know. Will we get the 2 low terrain warnings? I don't know. We might. We might. Right, let's get our altitude set to something lower so I don't have to keep changing it. In fact, what's the minimums? Can't remember. 10,000 something, isn't it? 10,200, I think. We'll set it to there or thereabouts. And we'll just use the VS to try and keep us on our vertical profile. It's 200 knots, so we can extend flaps 1. I agree with you, Matt.
Aspen traffic, Winnie 321 Foxtrot, opening over lift at 14,000 feet.
Sorry, I've missed a lot of chat concentrating. No ATC on, Jason. Fell asleep on the couch at 8 and you're... Oh, well done. Excellent timing, Ben. Excellent timing. Nice to have you back. So far... I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. It's flaps 8. Good evening, Astro. Welcome to the stream.
SkyWest 318. SkyWest 318. Do you copy?
Station calling. Are you trying to call SkyWest 3188?
Oh, I guess it is. Yes, SkyWest 3188. I guess you're inbound to Aspen?
Yes, A-firm. We are inbound for the RNAV Zulu approach, runway 15 at Aspen.
Okay, roger that. Just advise that you have 2 aircraft just practicing the VOR approach. I'm currently behind you, and then there's another aircraft just joining in red table for the VOR DME approach. You'll be number 1, which will keep out your way.
Roger, thank you for the heads up. We are just inbound to Nalby and we'll be starting our final descent shortly. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
So we should quite soon be able to see the airport. Going to reduce our rate of descent now because we're getting a little tiny bit too low, although that could just be the cone of confusion. Could be. But anyway, I want to keep getting my flaps out. We'll get the gear down as well now. I'm looking in completely the wrong place for the airport. Of course, it's over here, not in this valley. Over.
Aspen traffic, Mooney 531 Victor. X-ray about 5 miles east of the red table VOR will be doing the localizer DME Echo approach for runway 15, Aspen.
Lot of traffic, lot of traffic. Let's keep that altitude coming down. We're still doing okay. Don't want to get too slow too soon. Wing view. Oh, go on then. That's it. That's all you're having. Now I'm concentrating on the approach. Why did they build an airport here? Don't worry about the terrain warning. Actually, do a little bit, because we are a little bit low. Don't get too comfortable with the terrain warning. Right, there's full flaps. Froda, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. So we want to be 10,000 or above at the next waypoint, so we don't want to get too low just yet. There's our minimums, and we have the runway in sight. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep on the LNAV path. And at some point, we'll fly it manually, probably from this next waypoint, because it's a sharp descent, and so I don't think we want to let VNAV do that. And needless to say, I will now be ignoring the chat until we're safely on the ground. Quick look at the before landing checklist. All looks good. Let's do some flying.
1,000.
Aspen traffic, SkyWest 3188, 5 mile final, runway 15. So I kind of expected that white snowflake to guide us all the way down, but it's obviously not going to do that, because we have we're a little high according to the PAPIs, and the white snowflake's disappeared, so fully visual now, fully visual. Well, it's a 6-degree glide slope, so I'm not really too high, I don't think. I don't imagine the PAPIs take into account the steep descent.
1,000.
Well, maybe they do. We're getting a bit of red in there now.
Aspen traffic, Mooney 531 Victor X-ray is joining the final for DME localizer echo approach, runway 15, Aspen.
Sync rate.
Hush now. Don't you worry about the sync rate. I'll worry about that.
400. 500. 400. 300.
I'm a little bit slow now, actually.
200. 100. Sync rate. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Welcome to Aspen, everybody! Oh, I enjoyed that. That was good. That was good. Let's get off the blooming runway. Aspen traffic, SkyWest 3188, clear of runway. Okay, let's get the flaps up. Which way are we going? We're going to the left, right? Yeah, we're going to the left. Get the landing lights off, taxi lights on. Thank you for the compliments. Right, let's get the APU started. Strobes off. And we'll pick a stand. Probably one near the terminal. This one looks good. Taxi light off. Oh, and I didn't blooming record it. I always forget to start flight recorder. Shame. Never mind. Never mind. Sometimes these things are best live. Oh, that was a lot more power than I intended to use. Right, we'll set the parking brake. And we'll get the aircraft switched off, and then I'll catch up with all your chat. Let's do some checklists. After landing, APU. I half started it. Now it's starting. Slats and flaps are retracted. Lights, well, they are set as we want them for now. Can turn off the probe heat. I guess you probably need to let the engines cool down a little bit anyway before you switch them off, but I'm not certain for how long on this aircraft. We'll turn off the windshield heat as well, we don't need that. Got no anti-ice to worry about. And the APU is not yet ready. If we go to the electrical page, we can double check it on there if we want to. Not yet. I did start it, right? What's going on here? Seems to be online now. And it is available. Right, so we can turn the engines off. Oh, I've still got my blooming reversers a little bit out. There we are. Engines off. What else do we want to do? Seat belts, blah 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 blah, beacon, nose wheel steering. Okay. Seatbelt sign off. Nose wheel steering off. Beacon light off. So we've just got nav and logo on. And we can turn the fuel pumps off as well. Get the door open. Get the chocks in.
Door. And
we'll pop outside. And we might even get to see some other aircraft coming in. That Mooney was on final, wasn't he? So we'll sort of plonk the drone camera over here. And maybe there'll be stuff to see while I catch up with the chat. Right, what have I missed? No, hit the brake. Yeah, it felt really fast, right? We were pretty much on the old 138 knots or whatever, but it felt incredibly fast.
Aspen
that
traffic, Mooney 521 Victor exit clear of runway
can always
15,
go around,
Aspen.
but there was no need. No, this is not a drill. I have to go back and take a screenshot of the wings view to greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Don't think. Oh, yeah. But yeah, thank you. Well, that wasn't bad, was it? That wasn't bad at all. What is his landing rate on Volante? I don't know. Did anyone check that yet? Francesco, thank you kindly. Tony, thanks for a nice chat about older times and a great stream. Oh, you're very welcome. It's nice to have you here. And if you're still here, come again. Bit of a mini paro, yeah, a little bit. Will I continue with this series? Yeah, LAX is really, really stuttery for me for some reason. I did do the flight from here to LAX on my own, and it went well, but it was so stuttery, so I might do a different route from here. But I'd certainly like to carry on either with the American Eagle or with the United Express. Extra greasy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I think it's my favourite of the default handcrafted airports, actually, Dive Barkis. Welcome back, Aviation 19. Did you see the No, you didn't. I'm sorry about the lack of replay. I just had too much to think about. I'm so sorry. But you can replay it yourself. You can just wind it back. I know you'll only get the one view, but still. Welcome back, Tokyo Style. This has been a really good time. Thank you, Francesca. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Subtract 2 butter from you for not recording. Sorry. Dear. APU bleed, yes, on. Amazing flight. Thank you, Kaffel. We'll use your English skills to describe the landing. Exquisite. So I'll take that, Demetrius. That's a very, very kind word to use. With the high altitude, your TS was probably a lot higher than 138. Yeah, but don't forget we were going for 138 indicated, so we were on the right speed. How was Gatwick to Nice? No telling off at all. Really friendly controller, Ben. Some people made a few stuff ups and they didn't get into trouble. It's just like, oh, you went the wrong way, but no problem, just make a left here. It's like a different airport, I tell you. But then the sim crashed after I parked up in Nice, which was a bit of a shame. Thank you, Astro Tway. I'm glad you were entertained. Jason, you're very, very welcome. Lovely to have you here, as always. Always exciting when I feel flights, I know. Yeah. At least as exciting for me as it is for you. Good. Well, I'm pretty bushed, I won't lie to you, but it was good fun. And my next stream is going to be almost definitely on Sunday, and that'll be an afternoon stream my time, so 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. I'm planning on popping around to see my parents earlier on. But I thought we might fly from KOS back to Bristol in the A320. We left an A320 down there, and I fancy flying it back.
Traffic, moving 321 visual, runway 33, Aspen.
Anyway, I don't know where he is. I can't see him. I thought he landed. But yes, so hope to see you on Sunday. If not, then I'm not entirely sure when my next stream after that will be, but hopefully I'll get one done midweek next week. I'm definitely doing 2 over the weekend, the following weekend, not this weekend, following weekend. Bimbles around Britain on Saturday, and the Transatlantic celebratory stream on the Sunday. So lots of good stuff on the channel. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to all those of you who have joined Club Filbert and donated and subscribed and given me a thumbs up. Much appreciated. And I'll see you again soon, I hope. Bye bye.